So, you know what we haven't done lately? Is checked in on all of our old Pro Machination friends.
When you say friends...
When I say friends, I of course mean people that we are going to rip their spines out with our god powers.
I see that.
The groundwork for Pro Machination is all but complete. Only one step remains before the deed is done. Machina will dominate this continent. Diadem, land of the clouds. What? There won't be any clouds. Only Machina. Machina. Machina! The same goes for Sidal Sud and Anue Nui.
Why won't there be
The whole
clouds?
sky will be under
Because that's what the
Terrazed's
Machina are
control.
doing. Like, you can see it. They're sucking up the clouds.
Terrazed? What's that?
Yeah, but...
Alfarid's greatest achievement. A fortress that will change the world.
I mean, I feel like there's many, you know,
The hell it
deep
will.
principles at
This
play
has to
here.
end, Nazca.
But some of the practicalities of this are a little lost on me. Oh well. I take it that this is just like all those unwinnable fights that we didn't
Join
win
your heart with mine.
are just like still here, just hanging out, still where we left them.
They sure are. And, now that we have the power of a god on our side, they are just regular boss fights. This notably does not make them any easier, just that we are, in fact, allowed to win now.
Say your prayers, Nazca.
Well, I mean, you know, as a conceit, I can respect it.
So, Nazca is the easiest of the three. So the way this fight works is that there's three components to the tank here, both of the guns and the tank itself. The guns will sit there and just kind of poke at you every so often for a couple hundred damage, and the tank itself will very rarely take a turn, but when it does, it will do plasma cannon, which will do about 1,000 damage and knock everybody down.
As demonstrated.
So the way this fight works is that you have to break the guns in order to prompt Nazca to open the tank, at which point he will either repair one on his turn, or he will attempt to heal the tank. And then once you... And like the way you win is you have to actually destroy the tank itself. Like, he'll infinitely revive the guns, but you need to break the guns to get him to appear at all.
And presumably you do this to get him to appear in order to not use the fuck you attack that makes you die.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the theory is at work. Like, definitely a boss battle with a gimmick. Are they all gonna be like this?
Volara's has a gimmick. Hugh's, not really. Less of one, at any rate.
It's like there's you know, the collection of super bosses. I mean, I don't know if this is a super boss in that sense, because that means a very particular thing in JRPGs. But you know, like very optional, very difficult. Presumably gives you good stuff. Like, I'm going to assume we're doing the thing here where we could just go straight to the final battle when it will be like regular difficult, or you could do literally all of the bullshit stuff and come in like, maybe not over level, because that's not how this game works, but like something. Come in with some real nice cards for our trouble.
Yeah, doing each of the like the Gilo and the Millie side quests and everything got us a special weapon for each of them, and this will give us. It won't be a unique card like the character side quests were, but we do get good weapons out of it.
Oh, it's nice when they actually make the stuff worth your while. But yeah, like, this is definitely exactly the right time to put in a bunch of optional boss fights. It's just that the thing that always concerns me when this time comes in a game is they gotta actually make the fights, like, interesting. Like, if you're gonna have a thing where, like, hey, you go and can take out these things for, like, the awesome rewards and the plot catharsis, you can't just have a thing and reduce its hit points to 0. You gotta have something. So, like, having the gimmicks is good, right? You think if I call them gimmicks, it would be as a disparagement of some kind, but, like, no, you've got to have interesting stuff going on in JRPG boss battles. It's just, like, the law. We will see if it works out. Good catharsis screaming.
I was gonna say, the cutscene direction there is, it's something.
It is something. What kind of thing? We'll get back to you on that.
We did it, Sagi! We defeated the Machina armor!
It's not over. Nazca's still there.
This can't be happening. It can't be. No! 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 Machina armor are invincible! They can't be destroyed!
What was with that walk cycle?
Sorry we had to break your toy. I suggest you run before we decide to break you.
I'm not running! If I ran, my brother would never let me live it down. I couldn't bear for him to laugh at me. I won't run! Now come on!
Like, I don't know how to tell you this, but, like, you're kind of not going to be in the good books as it is. Like, you broke a Machina armor, the thing that was supposed to be
That's
invincible.
what you want. Get ready, Nazca.
Like, I have to think that's going to be a reputation hit. But sure, whatever. Credit for sticking with it, I guess.
So you don't have to do this. You can, in fact, just walk away from him at this point. And if you do, he will actually show up in the ending with, like, a special little cutscene. But...
Does he deserve that?
I mean, this is the real catharsis. Like, all of them are gonna have this second phase fight that is significantly easier and basically just exists to let you just beat the shit out of them with no real difficulty.
Get out of your goddamn tank, come down here and fight me, and see how that goes for you. I mean, yeah. That's the theory working. This is good.
May my blade be
I'm a huge fan of how the traditional thing in JRPG bullshit would be for the guy to come out of the super machine and come down and fight you and somehow be an even harder fight because, like, something harder the cards or what the fuck ever. And not doing that is a statement.
Sorry about that.
It's video games. Did you know that games are art?
Also, should be noted that this is not like some fake bullshit, like, oh, we beat you and now you're gonna run away or whatever. No, Nazca's fucking dead.
I can believe that Nazca is fucking dead. I don't have any trouble at all believing that. So, like, yeah, so far I don't have huge, wide-ranging objections to this little stream of content. Video is only a third of the way through though, so who knows? There's a rich world of mystery out there. Have you guys just been pointing your lighters at this one patch of ground this whole time?
They are very focused on their important flamethrower work, Vidal.
Well, is it just me?
You look a little more fierce than the last time I saw
Oh, he's perceptive.
That's good. Draw your blade. Let's see if you're worth my time.
You could make the observation that they should draw some inference from the fact that we bothered to come back here. Knowing that he was here, we could have simply not come here.
Lend me your strength. Join your heart.
The fact that we are should, like... So anyway, like, we get a prompt to you know, do you want to fight the boss? Like, obvious work. But then we also get this other thing. What's with the second prompt?
Who can say? I'd never bothered to say no.
Come, Sagi. Let's finish this for good.
I'm intensely curious about this now.
Like you had to ask. You're on, Jews.
Anyway, this is reaching like at least 20% of Metal Gear Solid levels of like, are they about to kill each other or are they flirting? Obviously not getting anywhere near close, but I can see they're going for that vibe. Or at the very least they're doing it accidentally, and I don't know which is funnier.
So Hugh's gimmick is that he will enter this charging state, and I don't know what exactly the trigger is. I think it's doing enough damage to him while he's charging, but if you do that, you will knock him on his ass. If you don't, he does that.
Alright. So, like, basically it's a, or at least we think it's a on-demand DPS check.
I guess the good thing about this is that Hughes is purely a single target enemy. Like, he cannot hurt anyone other than the person whose day he is about to ruin. So, that's not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be manageable. If you just drop whatever you're doing and go defense, you can recover from basically anything to full under those circumstances. But like, yeah, this, you know, once again, pretty solid thing to be testing. Like, this is the kind of thing that you do when you make a big series of bosses. Is like, each one is going to test your ability to do a different thing. And the last one was like, can you strategize and like target the right thing at the right point and use its AI to make it not do the very bad thing? And this one is just like, okay, here is your window. Deal damage in this window. If you can do that, you get to win. If not, you get to die. Game design. Gimmick doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be, like, notable in any way. Just needs to be engaging.
Anyway, you were saying about the Metal Gear Solid vibes.
I was. Very disappointed we didn't get a scream with that one. Like, that's just... What's the point?
You must feel good, now that you've beat me. But... it's too late. The Empire still has Terrazed. Even if you stop pro-machination of the islands, it won't mean a thing.
What? Why not?
You'll soon...
Okay, sure, right, yes, whatever.
Yeah, each of them is going to mention Terrazed and what's something vaguely bad is about to happen.
Afraid I'll beat
because, you know...
I don't
The
need
standard
a
procedure.
Right, you know, you might not have gone to all of them, or you don't know which, they don't know which one you went to first, etc., etc.
I mean, the guys themselves might not know this. I mean, you would hope they would be in communication. You'd like, I don't know, the kind of thing I would like to do if laying out a thing like this is have them, like, you do whatever in whatever order, and they somehow get more difficult as you go through them, and each one is like, oh, I see you killed that other guy, and it reacts somehow. But that's a lot of effort.
You would think that Hughes would have something to say if you have already killed Nazca by this point, but...
Like, this is how it is in optional content, is they cheap on stuff, and you get the like, hey, it's just video games, and you're expected to just be like, yeah, that's video games. Not everything can get full integration.
Hughes' solo fight is, at least of the three, he is the most dangerous without his Machina Arma, but again, it is still significantly easier than his actual boss fight.
He's got the same theory, like the armor was just like, I'm gonna punch you with this mechanical cannon, and it's like, now I'm gonna punch you without the mechanical cannon. You can't get to be doing the first thing unless you're pretty good at punching in the first place. It checks out. But yeah, like like
You win. Nice.
the big flip side of optional content is that, yeah, you get like the good gameplay stuff, but it tends to be the least integrated. The budget doesn't go into it. Like, you know, maybe someone in there was like, yeah, we should have a thing where you fight them all in sequence and the order you pick matters, and they react to what you've already done. And they were like, okay, but we could instead spend a bunch of money on the CGI for the ending. And, you know, one of them is going to be seen by everybody. So here we are. Must you continue doing that while we're trying to read our letter?
I mean, she's a flower girl. What else was she supposed to do?
I don't have a good answer for that. I'm assuming that we still have to go through a bunch of dungeon content, and we have to do a big trek to get to each of these.
Oh yeah, no, you have to actually get back to wherever they were. So, like, I had to go through the entirety of the cloud vents, and... I mean, I guess... At least Valara's pretty close to the entrance, but, you know, still. I did have to get here.
That sounds like a pain. Like, it's the kind of thing that people will just deal with, but...
Or should I start calling you Wicked God Boy now?
I feel like a nicer game developer would be like, yeah, whatever, have a teleporter.
This has to stop, Valara. First pro-machination, then you blow out the wings of innocent people? You think you can do all that right in front of me and I'll just let it slide?
I mean, yeah, she does think that.
Ooh, such fire. But even if you keep Machina from spreading in a couple of places, we still have Terrazet.
And you're not even dead yet, you're
Sure
getting
you wanna
way ahead of
waste your
yourself.
time stopping pro-machination?
Very sure.
She is once again desperately trying to get Saki to, like, look, you got so much better shit to be doing, why are you here? Just go.
Come on then. If you're aching for a fight, I promise I won't let you down.
But sure, if you insist, we'll have a fight.
Yeah, see, the flip side is that I could say the exact same thing to her, like, yeah, Saki really does think that. That's our whole point. We're some people who think things. We got plans. We got wants. And one of those wants is fucking revenge for having a bunch of bullshit unwinnable boss fights.
Let's do this, Valara!
Like, I do really like this as a concept. Like, you had unwinnable boss fights and you get to go back and actually win them, and it's, like, actually cathartic for everybody. That's, like... That's video games. That's video games as fuck. Alright, what do we got?
So, Valara will do two things. In her normal mode, she will punch you a little bit and occasionally use her tail laser for a shit ton of damage and knock everybody down. It is extremely obnoxious, and if she uses it a lot, you're in trouble.
Well, good. RNG.
The alternative is that she will sometimes instead go into Hurricane stance, and for a few turns, the only thing she will do is a big attack called Hurricane Punch, and yeah, it does that. So as with Hughes, the important thing here is that when she does this, she is only attacking one person, and as long as she's in Hurricane stance, it is the only thing that she will do.
I don't see how this is as exploitable, though. Like, what's the strategy here?
There's less of one here in comparison to the other two. This is sort of this is the survival check.
I guess. That makes some sense. But this is like, hey, you're gonna deal with this threat or this threat. I don't like I don't like this one so much. Maybe I'm missing something, but like it just seems like, yeah, one half is to try and defend against a bunch of stuff and hope that she doesn't do the one bullshit thing, and the other one is just like, it's slightly more defensible, but you gotta drop what you're doing in order to go on an attack. So like there's a theory here where it's not quite like the DPS check, but something like you try and survive this stuff and try to be in a good enough shape that when the form with the window happens, that you can like not be so busy being on the defense that you can actually get something done. But mostly this seems like you're just trying to juggle all that stuff anyway, and the forms don't really mean very much. And like I don't know. Guess they can't all be hits.
What's going on? It's like you're a different person. Not good.
Once again, the cutscene direction is... There was an attempt. Big fan of that action dive.
So that's the wicked god's power. I can't move my right hand.
Tell me, Valara, why are you going along with Promachination? When we were in the Dark Service together, you looked out for me. I thought you were a good person. What happened?
Like, my man, we were in the Dark fucking
Work
Service.
is work. I'd give up everything it means to be a woman to finish the job. That's just the life I've chosen.
Not even gonna touch that one.
Got it? Now let's finish what we started.
I gotta say, with everything that goes on with Valara, it almost feels like they really wanted to kind of glance in the direction like, oh, maybe she's like a secret party member or something.
Get ready, Valara.
Because she definitely has, like, she has far and away the most dialogue with Sagi. They have something that resembles a rapport, and it's just, I don't know, it feels like they wanted there to be something there, and then didn't.
Anyway, so was she just lying about not being able to move her right arm? Was that just some bullshit that she decided to just say?
It was a cutscene injury. You understand how these things are.
Yeah, like, normally the writers try to work around it. They don't call attention. Like, a cutscene injury is generic. You have like an anime cough, or you're just like briefly unconscious, and then you'll back up again. You don't be like, no, I'm injured. I have this specific injury. I can't do this thing. And then just forget about it later? That's like... Come on, man. There's rules to this shit. There's like a whole social contract here. Valara's kind of a letdown. Also, what is with that gun? It's just...
It's sort of like Liu's trumpet gun, just like in pistol form.
It's like a cross between a pistol and a blunderbuss. I mean, I respect it, but also what the hell? Could we have not gotten those?
I don't know if I don't think we could have gotten those. I think if we went anywhere on that side of the room, it would have triggered the Valara boss fight.
So not like explicitly a prize, but also kind of like I don't know.
But yeah, that's it. We have successfully stopped Pro Machination.
Yep, that's it. Political initiative thoroughly derailed.
Cannot believe it took us the entire game, but we can finally go back and tell Quaestor Varys that we actually did our job.
The greatest possible plot twist. Just like absolutely flawed. Never in a million years would have seen that coming. Just wow.
Hey, it's hard to believe, but sometimes miracles really do happen.